Hello everyone, am I audible? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can start with exercise 11.3 ellipse. Basically, we have solved some of the questions. Okay, did we solve question number 9th? In the last class, did we solve question number 9th? No, okay. In that case, start this. You have to find out coordinates of the foci, vertices, length of major axis, minor axis, and eccentricity, and also length of latest rectum. So I'll ask you, just find out the value for A and B. Yes, Safar, did we solve this?
No, sir, I wanted to ask something regarding limits and derivatives.
Okay.
Sir, I don't remember, but did we do chain rule?
No, we didn't do chain rule. Is it in the syllabus? I don't think so. It's in the syllabus.
Not really, sir. But then our teacher, she was like, she taught us chain rule.
Okay.
Saying it will come. So is it?
I have also taught you. I can also teach you. I mean, the chain rule. But these are the topics that we'll take after the syllabus is completed.
Okay, sir.
So this is 4x square plus 9y square equals to 36. Is it the correct form, first of all? Is it the correct form written here, or do I need to change this? I should make RHS as 1, first of all. And how can I do that? By dividing the whole equation by 36. So dividing the equation by 36. If I do so, this becomes something like this. Now, can you tell me what is the value of A here? What is the value of A? And B?
2.
So can we find out C?
A square minus B root 5.
Yes. Hence, can you find out the foci? Coordinates of foci? Foci is what? Plus minus C is equals to 0. Plus minus C comma 0. It is a what? Horizontal ellipse.
Plus or minus 5 root 5 comma 0.
Yes. Plus minus root 5 comma 0. And what are the vertices?
0. No, sorry. Plus or minus 3 comma 0.
Yes. And what is eccentricity?
Eccentricity C by A, root 5 by 3.
Yes. And length of latest rectum would be
8 by
2b
3.
square by A. Yes, so 8 by 3. So this was the basic practice in which we have to identify which kind of ellipse is given, right? And how to find out the value of A and B. And using A and B, we can find out everything else. Now let's solve question number 11th. So you have to find out the equation for ellipse. You'll be given certain things about the ellipse. So in this case, vertices is 0, plus minus 13. And foci is also given 0, plus minus 5. So can you tell me which kind of ellipse it is? Horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Vertical. So what should be the equation? I mean, not the exact equation. How should I write the equation first? We'll find out the value of A and B after that.
Squared by B squared plus Y squared by A squared is equal to 1.
Correct. Now, what would be the value of A and B? What do we have if we have vertices?
We have C as the foci
Yes,
and A as 13.
correct. So we do have A and C. We have A as 13 and C as 5. So can we find out the value of B with the help of A and C? What will it be in this case? You'll find that out and you'll find out that B is 12. So if B is 12, it should be x square by 144 plus y square by 169 is equals to 1. That should be the answer. Okay, let's solve 13th. 13th. Ends of major axis and ends of minor axis. Ends of major axis and ends of minor axis. Both are given to us. So what do we have from the question itself? What do we have? Page number 255, question number 13. Page 255, question number 13. Yeah, Maz, will you tell me? Ends of major axis and ends of minor axis is given. So what do we have here? What is the information that we have?
1 minute, sir. Sir, A and B is given.
Can you tell me the value of A?
A is plus minus 3, B is plus minus 2.
So A is 3 and B is 2, right? And
Yes.
which kind of ellipse would it be? Horizontal or vertical?
Ellipse horizontal.
Because the length of major axis is lying on x-axis, so hence it's a horizontal ellipse. Now we know how can we write horizontal ellipse. It should be x square by a square plus y square by b square is equals to 1. Okay, let's solve question number 16. You guys have to solve question number 16. I'm waiting. I'll ask you the answer. Solve question number 16. In fact, write all the questions which you have to solve. So 16, then after that would be 18, then 19th and 20th. Everyone has to solve these 4 questions. Start with 16th, and as soon as you are done, just raise your hand. I'll be waiting. So understand what is the information given, understand the type of ellipse, and write the equation using A and B. Guys, I am removing this. Hopefully everybody has written. If not, then just raise your hand. Yes, Iram. Iram, can you tell me in question number 16 what type of ellipse it is? If minor axis is 16 and foci is 0, plus minus 6. Can you identify the type of ellipse?
The major axis is along the y-axis, so
Yes,
it will be vertical.
correct. And vertical ellipse should be written as the standard equation of the vertical ellipse is
X square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1.
correct. So we have to find out a square and b square, basically a and b. Now we are given this minor axis is 16. What is the length of minor axis? Length of minor axis, Iram.
2b, 2 into b.
So b should be equal to what? 8? No? And if foci is
How?
given, what is given to us?
C is given.
C is given. What is the value of C?
6.
6. So we have B as 8 and C as 6. How can we find out A?
C is equals to under root a square minus b square.
Under root B square minus C square in this case.
Yeah.
Yes. So, sorry, not minus, this should be plus. A square, root A is equals to root over B square plus C square. That should be the value. And we have 8 and 6. So A should be equal to 10. Hence, the equation is x square by 64
Plus y square by 100 is equals to 1.
Fine. Good. Just understand what kind of ellipse is given and then find out A and B. Some information will be given in the question to find out A and B easily. Use that information and write out the equation. Let's solve 18th. Yes, yeah. B is 3, C is 4. Center is given to you. And foci is on the x-axis. So B is 3, C is 4. Foci on x-axis. Can you tell me which kind of ellipse it is? Anyone?
Is it like
Horizontal.
Yes. This has to be horizontal ellipse because the foci is given on x-axis. Standard equation is x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. So you have b, but you don't have a. So you can find out a using root over b square plus c square, which is 3 square plus 4 square, in this case 5. Hence the equation would be x square by 25 plus y square by 9 is equals to 1. This would be the final answer. Let's solve question number 19th and 20th. After writing this, solve 19th and 20th. As soon as you identify the type of ellipse in question number 19, tell me. Type of ellipse.
vertical?
A vertical, correct. Major axis is given on the y-axis. Hence, the ellipse should be vertical. So what is the general equation of vertical ellipse?
Square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1.
Correct. So this is the equation of vertical ellipse, right? And what is given in the question? Safa, can you read the question and tell me the information which we have? Safa, what is given in the question? 19th.
So that it passes through points 3, 2 and 1, 6.
passes through 3,2
and 1 comma.
and 1,6, correct. So that's to find out the equation of ellipse, we need A and B, right? So we need two variables. We are given two equations because it passes through 3,2 and 1,6. Hence, if I substitute 3 and 2 in the place of x and y respectively, this should satisfy, which implies that 3,2 is a point of ellipse. Hence, point on ellipse. So what we can say is that if we put x as 3 and y as 2, then there's an equation which would satisfy. This is your first equation. And if you put 1,6 in place of x and y, this would be 1 by b squared plus 36 by a squared is equals to 1. Now you have to find out a and b using these two equations. Can you suggest me how to do this?
Linear equation in two variables.
Yes, linear equation in two variables. So we will multiply the first equation with by 9. If I multiply first by 9, what would I get? This would be 81 b square. 81 divided by b square, sorry. Then next would be 36 by a square. And then this would be 9. Now, if I subtract second from this equation, a square wala part will be cancelled out. So this would become third minus first would be 81 upon b square minus 1 upon b square, which would be 80 upon b square is equals to 8. Hence, b square is equals to 10. If b square is 10, we can find out the value of a square using this. So 36 upon a square is equals to 1 minus 1 upon 10. This would be 9 by 10, which would be a square is equals to 40. So you have a square, you have b square, use fourth and fifth to find out the equation. So the equation would be x square by 10. Sorry. So it should be the x square by 10 plus y square by 40 is equals to 1. So can you solve question number 20th in the similar manner?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Question number 19 or question number 20? Safa, which question? Question number 20 you have to solve, and we have just solved question number 19.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
which
sir.
question? So when 2 points are given, which are lying on the ellipse, use them to find out A and B. And to solve this, you'll have to use linear equation, pair of linear equation into variables wala concept. Guys, are you solving 20th? Iram, Tharif, Maz, and Safar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Solve question number 20th after this. Okay. Is everybody done with this? If not, then raise your hand. Cool. So in 20th, you are given that the major axis is on x-axis. And passes through 4, 3. Guys, did you find out Yes, what is the value for A and B? What is the value? I mean, what is the final equation for the ellipse?
X square by 52
Okay,
plus y square by 13 is equal to 1.
y square by 13.
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. Y square by 52 plus, sorry, x square by 52 should be, right? So if I put 4, this should be 16 plus 9, which should be 36 by, yes, 16 and 36 will be correct. 36, 4, 16, correct. Yes, that should be the equation. Final answer. Right. Now, let's come to the last figure from conic sections, which is hyperbola. Now, hyperbola is a very different figure as compared to all the three figures because it is actually not a very usual figure. It's not usual to see a hyperbola. So practically you won't see much application of hyperbola. This would look something like this. Right? And here it will be the focus. So this shape is symmetrical. I haven't drawn it to be symmetrical, but it's a symmetrical shape. Right? So right now, this is the center of the hyperbola. Again, center will always be origin only. There are two types of parabola. One is this, and second is this kind of parabola. So these are your foci. This is F1. This is F2. Now this is 1 point. They are vertices. Again, these are vertices. These are foci. So you know the coordinates of foci in ellipse. What were they? Plus minus c comma 0. Similarly, same here. Now this was known as major axis. X-axis was known as major axis and Y was known as minor axis in this case. But if I talk about axis in parabola, so there are two types of axis. One is called transverse axis and another is called conjugate axis, right? So transverse axis and conjugate axis are similar to major axis and minor axis. Major word is replaced with transverse here and minor word is replaced here with with conjugate, right? So there are two types of hyperbola. One is in which the foci are on x-axis, right? And one is in which the foci are on y-axis, right? Now, okay, so let's start with some simpler terms now. So this axis is known as transverse axis. Hence, this axis is known as conjugate axis. So that axis, which will be cutting the hyperbola, will be known as transverse. So in this case, this is transverse axis. and this is conjugate axis. Now these are vertices, sorry. Let's call this as A and B. So F1, F2 are your foci. Then A and B are your vertices. Now vertices, this would be A comma 0 and this would be again minus A comma 0. Similar to your ellipse, nothing has changed. So this distance is A, okay, this distance is A, and corresponding to this, there will be some distance here. So that would be B. This distance would be B. And this point would be 0 comma B, and this would be somewhere 0 comma minus B. So conjugate axis, transverse axis. Then similarly, F1 would be 0 comma C, F2 would be 0 comma minus C, A would be 0 comma A, and B would be 0 comma minus A. And with some point B here. So this would be B comma 0, and this would be minus B comma 0. Now, what is the concept of hyperbola? So let's call any point P. Now, if I take the distance of PF1 and PF2 and find out their difference. Let's understand this. So PF1 is a greater distance, PF2 is a shorter distance. We have to take the distance, the difference between the distance. PF1 minus PF2 is constant. This is constant for every point lying on the parabola. So if you take this point and you find out the difference, let's call this point as Q. You find out the distance from Q to F1 and Q to F2 and take the difference of them. This would be exactly equal to PF1 minus PF2. That is the property. So you can take any point B. B is also lying on the, B is a vertex. B is a vertex in this case, but it also lies on the hyperbola, right? Hence, the distance from B to F1 and F2 should be same as PF1 and PF2. As PF1 and PF2. This is the first case. Second equation will also go the same process. We are now defining the equation of this hyperbola. How to write out the equation of hyperbola. These were the basic terms जो हमें पता होनी चाहिए थी. अभी अपन स्टैंडर्ड इक्वेशन ऑफ पैराबोला की बात करते हैं. सबसे पहले हम ये वाले पैराबोला की बात कर रहे हैं जिसके फोकाई एक्स एक्सिस पे लाई कर रहे होंगे. कैन आई रिमूव दिस सेकंड पार्ट?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I use this definition of hyperbola, that difference of the distance of any point from foci will be constant, then I can write this as this. PF1 minus PF2 is equals to PF1 minus PF2, right? Now PF1 would be what? Let's call this P point as x comma y. So PF1 distance would be x plus c whole square plus y minus 0 is y square and whole root. Sorry, and this would be minus. Now PF1, this was PF2, right? So this was PF1. Now if I find out PF2, that should be x plus c whole square plus y square. This is PF1 minus PF2. Now let's write BF1. BF1 would be this distance, this, plus OF1. OF1 is C. We know OF1 is C. Plus this distance is A. So C plus A. And BF2 is what? BF2 is this whole OF2 minus OB. OF2 is C, OB is A. So this is C minus. So this distance is equals to 2a. Hence, the constant distance is 2a, first of all. Now we will use, I'll square this and find out the equation in general terms. So I'll take this to the right hand side. This will become positive. I'm taking this square. So I'm basically taking the square of this. Root over x minus c whole square plus y square is equals to 2a plus root over x plus c whole square plus y square. Squaring both sides. So this becomes x minus c whole square plus y square is equals to 4a square plus x plus c whole square plus y square plus 4a root over x plus c whole square plus y square. So this cancel out this. This is x square plus c square. This is also x square plus c square. Here you will get minus 2cx. Here you will get 4a square plus 2cx plus 4a root over. Now, if you take this to the left hand side and take again squaring again, then this becomes 4c square x square, right? In fact, this becomes minus 4cx. Hence, I should probably write it in simpler form from here only. So this is minus 4cx minus 4a square is equals to plus of this. So this becomes 16c square x square, then plus 16 a to the power 4. Actually, we can cancel out 4. So this is and plus 2a square cx, and this becomes a square rather, and then x plus c whole square plus y square. So this is c square x square plus a to the power 4 plus twice of a square cx. This becomes a square x square plus a square c square plus 2a square cx plus a square y square. So this cancels out this. Then this is c square minus a square into whole x square. Then this is minus a square y square. And here it becomes a square c square minus a to the power 4. Right? So in this case, your eccentricity, just forget about eccentricity. First of all, let's talk about A, B, and C, relation between A, B, and C. So relation between A, B, and C in this case would not be that simpler. It is not a square is equals to b square plus c square, right? In this case. In this case, your c square would be equal to a square plus b square. Remember this. In this case, your c square is equals to a square plus b square. Right? You can actually find that out easily. So in this case, write this c square is equals to a square plus b square. So the c square minus a square should be equal to b square x square minus a square y square. Then you can take a square common. You're left with c square minus a square, which would be nothing but a square into b square. So if you divide the whole equation by a square by b square, so this becomes x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. That is your standard equation of the hyperbola. Now this was the process, but अगर हम बात करें कि हमें क्या पता होना चाहिए, तो हमें इक्वेशन पता होनी चाहिए दो तरीके की इक्वेशन. अगर x एक्सिस ट्रांसवर्स है तो x स्क्वायर बाई a स्क्वायर माइनस y स्क्वायर बाई b स्क्वायर होगा. अगर y एक्सिस ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस है, in that case y स्क्वायर बाई a स्क्वायर माइनस x स्क्वायर बाई b स्क्वायर है. तो कॉन्जुगेट एक्सिस पे नेगेटिव, ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस पे पॉजिटिव, और ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस पे ही होंगे फोकट. अगर ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस एक्स एक्सिस तो x स्क्वायर बाई a स्क्वायर पॉजिटिव माइनस y स्क्वायर बाई b स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 1. अगर y एक्सिस ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस तो y स्क्वायर बाई a स्क्वायर माइनस x स्क्वायर बाई b स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 1. और a स्क्वायर b स्क्वायर c स्क्वायर में ये वाला रिलेशन. So can I remove this and can we proceed? Okay, so second type of parabola is this one. This is one focus and this is another focus. This is f1, this is f2. This is a comma 0. No, sorry, 0 comma a, and this has to be 0 comma minus a. Then this has to be 0 comma minus c, and this has to be 0 comma c. So its equation would be y square by a square minus x square by b square is equals to 1. Again, the transverse axis is y axis and conjugate axis is x axis. This can be written as x square y square by a square minus x square by b square is equals to 1. Now remember one single point. If a is equals to b, then hyperbola is known as rectangular height. Sorry, equilateral height. So whenever a is equals to b, your equation of hyperbola would be something like this. Either x square minus y square is equals to a square, because a square and b square both would be same. So replace b square with a square. You would get either x square minus y square is equals to a square or y square minus x square is equals to a square. And length of latest rectum is same. It is 2b square by a, same. So just understand where is the transverse axis and where is the conjugate axis, and then decide for the values of a and b. If you have a, b, and or c, you can find out. If you have two of them, the third value you can find out. Let's solve some questions now. Come to page 262. Page 262. Let's start with the first question. Okay, can I remove this? Good. So we have x square by 16 minus y square by 9 is equals to 1. तो सबसे पहले तो आप क्वेश्चन में माइनस से ही समझ सकते हो. जिस पे माइनस लगा हुआ है वो है कॉन्जुगेट एक्सिस, जिसके साथ पॉजिटिव वो है ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस. So in this case, x axis is transverse, y axis is conjugate. X axis is transverse and y axis is conjugate, right? So this is kind of horizontal hyperbola, right? A is 4, is A 4? Anji, in this case, what is the value of A?
4.
4 and B?
3.
Can we find out the value of C?
5.
5. Root over A square plus B square. So you'll get C as 5. Now, what do we need to tell? Coordinates of foci. Coordinates of foci. What are the coordinates of foci for this case?
Plus or minus C, comma A, which is plus or
C
minus.
comma 0.
I'm sorry, 0. Plus or minus 5, comma 0.
And coordinates of vertices.
Plus or minus 4, comma 0 and
Yes, plus minus A comma 0, which should be plus minus 4 comma 0. And eccentricity. So next we have to tell the eccentricity. It is C by A. Now just think for a moment. This was A. This was C. If you take the ratio of C by A, the C distance will always be greater than A. So in this case, E is greater than 1 for what? Hyperbola. But अगर तुम एलिप्स में देखोगे ना सेंट्रिसिटी की वैल्यू तो लेस देन 1 आएगी हमेशा, क्योंकि वहां पे C छोटा होता था. एलिप्स वाज लाइक दिस. ये C था, ये A था, ये C था. C by A was always less than 1. And for parabola, E is 1. So in this case, this would be 5 by 4. We have to find out the length of latest rectum. So that should be 3 3 9 to 18 by 4. So that is how we can solve this. Can you find out all of these values for question number 4? Shall we solve 4th? Question number 4. Yeah, guys, can we have the values, required values for question number 4?
Sir, A6 and Y is 8.
Just a minute. So this is x square by 36 minus y square by 64 is equals to 1. So yes, Tarif, what are you saying now? Tell me. What is the value of A and what is the value of B?
Sir, A6 and Y is 8.
A6 and B is 8. Not Y. A6 and B
Yes,
is
sir.
8. So can you find out the value of C?
So,
Yes, we have the relation between A, B, and C for hyperbola. Tell me what is the relation? Check it from the notebook and tell me.
yes, sir. C square is equal to A square plus B square.
So we can write it as root over A square plus B square. 6 square plus 8 square would be 110. We should remember these Pythagorean triplets. 6, 8, 10. So C is 10. Now, can you tell me the coordinates of foci, Tarif?
The plus minus 10, comma 0.
Plus minus
10, comma 0.
10, comma 0. Correct. Coordinates of vertices?
Plus or minus A, comma 0, then it will be plus or minus 6, comma 0.
Good.
Then as simplicity is C by A, then it will be 5 by 3.
5 by 3 if we solve it. And what is the value of latest rectum?
So 64 by 3.
2b square by A. 64 by 3. Correct. Very good. Now let's solve next questions. Start with question number 8. Everybody. So start solving these questions. 8, 10th, 11th, then 12th and 15th. Out of A, B, and C, what is given to us in question number 8? Guys, out of A, B, and C, what is given to us in question number 8? Yes, Safa, please.
So the foci, which is plus or minus 8,
Yes.
and the
So,
value of A
which is
plus or minus 5.
5, just 5, positive 5.
5.
And C is 8. So we have to find out B using
Yeah.
this,
64 minus 25. Root of
Which
64
would be?
minus 25.
which would be root over 39, I guess.
Yeah, root over 39.
Okay, so which type of parabola it would be? Can you tell me the standard equation?
Y square by A square minus X square by B square is equal to 1.
Correct. Because we can see that the foci is on y-axis, hence it has to be y square by A square minus X square by B square is equals to 1. So it should be y square by 25 minus X square by 39 is equals to 1. That is the answer. Okay, solve 10th. Foci is given and transverse axis is of length 8. Can you tell me the values of A, B, and C? Values of A, B, and C. So transverse axis was synonym to major axis or minor axis? Transverse axis in hyperbola is similar to which
Major
axis in ellipse? Major axis, right? So what can we find out using this Safa?
the value of A.
2A has to be 8, which means A is 4 here.
And so C is 5,
C is 5,
3.
and find out B as 3. And the equation would be
X square by 16 minus Y square by 9 is equal to 1.
correct. Good. Similarly, solve 11th, 12th, and 15th. Now tell me the final answers. It's easy. If you have understood everything, then you must have understood this, that to score marks in conic section is very easy. The most difficult part was circle. Other than that, everything is easy. Yes, what is the value? I mean, what is the answer for question number 11? Foci is given. So equation should be, what kind of an equation is used here? Mass, will you tell me the standard equation of this hyperbola?
Yes, sir.
Question number 11th. Which kind of hyperbola is this? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1, or y square by a square minus x square by b square is equals to 1. Which one is this in question number 11th?
Sir, x square by a square plus.
Okay, foci is 0, comma plus minus 13. What does that tell you? It tells you two things.
Okay.
Foci
sir.
is 0, comma plus minus 13. So what are the two important information you get from here?
That I think hyperbola is the transverse axis is y-axis.
Yes, transverse axis is y-axis. One important piece of information is this, that transverse axis is y-axis. And when transverse axis is y-axis, mass, what kind of equation do we have?
Y square by a square plus
Yes,
x square by
exactly.
b square.
Correct. And another piece of information is that foci is 0, comma plus minus 13. So you have your C, value of C,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
C is
sir.
what?
C is 30.
13. And now you have conjugate axis length is 24. So what do you have from here?
B is 12.
Correct. B is 12, right? So B is 12, C is 13. What's the value of A?
A square equals to b square plus c square.
No, C square is equals to A square plus B
Yeah,
square this time.
c square equals to a square plus b square. So
So you will get A as 5. Because this is 13, 12, and 5 are a triplet. So A is 5, then B is 12. So the answer should be y square by 25 minus x square by 144 is equals to 1.
yes.
Tharif and Safa, did you guys understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Solve question number 12 now. You guys have to tell me the answer. Fatafat solve all of these questions and tell me the answer. Give me 2 minutes. By the time I come back, please solve 12th and 15th. Guys, do you have the answer for question number 12?
So x square by 25 plus y square by 400 is equal to 1.
Just a minute. So foci is given an x-axis.
Yeah.
3.
A will be 5 and B is where B will be
Sorry, B will be
20,
what? 3,
20.
20. Okay, and A is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. How much is A according to you?
5.
5. And B is 20.
Root of 20.
Root of 20. Yes, correct. So root of 20 plus 5 is correct. Yes. 20 and 25.
So x square by 25 plus y square by 20 is equal to 1.
Minus.
Oh, sorry. Minus 5.
Yeah,
Minus y square by 20 is equal to 1.
correct. X square by 25 minus y square by 20 is equal to. Let's solve question number 14th as well. 14th and 15th both. So guys, for 12th, if you haven't solved Tharif and Maz, did you guys solve question number 12th? If not, then please feel free
Yes,
to ask.
A is 5.
Okay, cool. Solve 14th also. 14th mein eccentricity is given. Eccentricity is given and vertices is given. So if vertices is given, what is the value given? Can you tell me? फटाफट बताओ, vertices given है तो क्या given? बताइए, vertices plus minus 7,0 है. What is given?
Plus E is plus 7.
What is given? Tharif, sorry.
E is 7. And it is
E is 7.
hyperbolic in x-axis.
A is 7, no? Vertex is given. So A is 7 and eccentricity is also given to you. It is 4 by 3. You know what eccentricity is? C by A. So C is 28 by 3. Now you have A, you have C, you can find out the value of B using root over C square minus A square. We'll find out some value of B and the equation will be x square by A square minus y square by B square is equals to. Right. Now solve question number 15th also. Solve question number 15th as well. So we know the foci. If foci is given, again, what are the two important piece of information from this foci?
We know the value of C and that
And
A square plus B square is equal to C.
C square. No, one more piece of information we have, Safa. If foci is given, then we know that C is root 10, but one more piece of information we know. Foci is lying on y-axis. So you know the standard equation of the parabola, you know the conjugate axis. No?
Yes, sir.
Which is that? What will be the conjugate
Y
axis in this
square
case?
by A square minus x square by B
Correct.
square is equal to 1.
Now what do we have? That the hyperbola is passing through 2,3. So passing through 2,3. Can we use it here? This should be 9 by a square minus 4 by b square is equals to 1. Now c is root 10. And we know that c square is equals to a square plus b square. Hence, b square is 10 minus a square. Let's call it the first equation. Use it here. Use it here. You can use it very easily. And now take a square as another variable x or anything, whatever you want. So you can write this as 9 by c minus 4 upon 10 minus c is equals to 1. Solve this for c. C will be your a square. And this will be 90 minus 9c minus 4c is equals to 10c minus c square. So this should be c square. And then should be minus 23c plus 90 is equals to 0. So c would be either 18 or 5. So your a square is either 18 or 5. Now, if you take a square as 18, your b square is negative, which is not possible. No. If a square is equals to 18, then b square is equals to minus 8. Not possible. If a square is equals to 5, b square is also equals to 5, which is possible. B square cannot be negative. Hence, the equation should be y square minus x square is equals to 5. Y square by 5 minus x square by 5 is equals to 1. So basically, this is given an equilateral hyperbola. In this question, you have been given equilateral hyperbola. Guys, did you understand hyperbola?
Yes, sir.
Hyperbola as well as ellipse. These are pretty much simple topics. If you understand these questions well, बस आपको ये समझना है कि मेजर एक्सिस माइनर एक्सिस कहाँ होगा in case of ellipse, या फिर in case of hyperbola conjugate axis and transverse axis कहाँ पे होगा. If you know this, you're good to go. अभी miscellaneous exercise में कुछ questions आपको word problems दिए गए. Try to solve them. First of all, try to confirm whether you will be given these word problems or not. अगर आ रहे हैं, so we will cover them. Otherwise, we won't. Okay. And then one more piece of information is the class is over. For today, the class is over. So we have completed our conic sections. If these word problems are coming in your exam, then prepare them. We will prepare them actually in the next class. Which questions in this solve करेंगे हम. और अगर नहीं तो फिर हम ये छोड़ देंगे ये वाला पार्ट. आप एक बार अपने स्कूल्स में पता करिएगा इस बारे में, then confirm me. And one more thing is, when can we have an extra class? Guys, we have scheduled an extra class on Friday, last Friday, but I think you had test.
Yeah, this Friday as well. Test, I think there is.
Oh, so Safa, do we have a slot before Friday?
Sorry?
Do we have a slot before Friday? Free slot? I mean, do you guys have a free slot before Friday?
I don't know about others. Like, I am free only in the afternoon, like night, evening, weekdays.
Weekdays from?
Like around this time, or like maybe like in half an hour after this.
So weekdays माने कौन सा दिन?
Monday or like Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday is
Okay.
also okay.
Every day? Okay.
No, not every day. I'm just.
I mean, you are free from Monday to Thursday at the same time. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most probably, till Wednesday, I think, not even Thursday. Only till
Okay.
Wednesday.
So we can have a class on Wednesday. Is Tharif and Maz cool with it? Do you guys have a problem if we
When's the
have
time?
it's the same time? Tharif, on Wednesday.
Okay, sir, I'll see.
Maz?
Sir, I'm free.
Okay, cool. Chalo, then we'll meet on